Hi guys, welcome back. We're starting a new skill today with algebra and it's called expanding brackets. So what I want you to do is first of all copy this into your books. So when multiplying brackets, every term in the brackets needs to be multiplied by the term in front of the brackets. For example, 3 times 2a plus 4b is the same as 3 times 2a plus 3 times 4b, which is equal to 6a plus 12b. So if Mr. Breeden's feeling nice, he might pause this here for a minute and let you copy it down. Okay, once you've copied it down, we are going to go through some of the exercises together. We'll start off simple and then we'll get a bit more complicated as we go. So we're looking at 8.9 here, expanding brackets, and we'll start with question 1. So 1a, 3d plus 4. Sorry. Okay, so the rule is that everything in the bracket, so every term, and we've got 2 terms there, we've got 2 terms, each term has to be multiplied by the number outside the bracket. So 3 has to multiply the first term and 3 has to multiply the second term. So that'll look like this. 3 times d plus 3 times 4, and I've just taken the plus from there. Okay, you just use the same sign. 3 times d we know is 3d, and 3 times 4 is 12. Final lines. That's it. Okay, let's try question 1b. 2a plus 5. So everything in the brackets needs to be multiplied by the number outside the front. So we're going 2 times a, didn't help, 2 times a plus 2 times 5. Okay, so I've got my question first, I've got my working out, and then I've got my answer. 2 times a is 2a, 2 times 5 is 10. Final lines. Setting out and showing your working out is so important in algebra, so make sure that you're doing it like I'm doing it on the screen. When you get used to it, you can drop this working out here. That'll just go, okay, for simple ones like this. But if you've got one with lots of terms or sets of brackets, you might need to write out the working out as well. Okay, so just make sure you know how to do it. So we'll get a bit more complicated. Let's go to 1s. 3f g plus 3. Okay, this time the number that's attached or the term that's attached to the front of the brackets is 3 and f together. Okay, that's one term. So everything in the brackets needs to be multiplied by 3f. So it'll look like this. 3f times g plus 3f times 3. 3f times g is just 3fg, numbers first in alphabetical order. 3f times 3 is 9f, numbers first in alphabetical order. Okay, if you're having trouble with those multiplying or adding and subtracting, you need to go back to the last video and you need to do a bit more homework, okay, because from here on you should be able to multiply and divide with relative ease. So let's try another one. We'll try 2g. Negative 5x x plus 6. So this time the term outside the front of the brackets is negative 5x. So everything in the brackets needs to be multiplied by negative 5x. So negative 5x times x. Okay, see how my x's are like 2 c's back to back? That just helps determine whether it's an x or whether it's a times. So when you're doing algebra, the x's just look a bit funny. Try and get in the habit of doing it though. Okay, plus, we're just going to have a plus in the middle there, and then negative 5x times 6. Okay, so if we've got 2 terms in the brackets, 2 terms in the brackets, we should end up with 1, 2 terms when we finish. Okay, so let's try it. Negative 5x times x is negative 5x squared, plus negative 5x times 6 would be negative 30x. A plus and a minus together like that makes a minus. Okay, and you can see we've got 2 terms there. So we started off with 2 terms in the brackets. We're finishing off with 2 terms outside the brackets. All right, let's try another tricky one like that. Let's try 2p. All right, so we're starting with the term negative 2w, and we're going to multiply everything in the bracket by that. So it's negative 2w times 9w plus, it's always a plus in there, negative 2w times negative 5z, or z, whichever one I don't get in trouble for using. Sorry, Lincoln. Right, so negative 2 times 9 would be negative 18. W times w is w squared. Plus negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10. W times z is just wz. So rewrite it. Actually, I won't even rewrite it. I'll just make that a plus. So I've got 2 positives, make a positive. Okay, I hope that's starting to make sense. Now we're going to put it with a few other little skills as well. So this is question 4. Do 4a. So 3x plus 2 plus 2x plus 1. Okay, so we need to multiply everything in the brackets by what's attached to the bracket at the front. So this is going to be a few different steps. We're going to go 3 times x, 3 times 2, plus 2 times x, 2 times 1. All right, because we've got 2 sets of brackets there. So 3 times x plus 3 times 2 plus 2 times x plus 2 times 1. Okay, I only put the negatives in there if there's a negative. Otherwise, it's just straight across. So 3 times x is 3x, plus 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 times x is 2x, plus 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, that's all my multiplying done. I've now distributed and gotten rid of the brackets, but I can simplify further because I've got some like terms there. So 3x and 2x are like terms. I can add them together. 3x's plus 2x's equals 5x. Plus 6 and plus 2, they're like terms as well. Plus 6 plus 2 is plus 8. And final lines. So when you get really good at these, and you might be good at these by the time you get to question 4, you're going to do at least 1, 2, 3 lines of working out. Okay, I don't mind if you drop that line out. That's fine. But you can't drop line 2 out. It's got to be line 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so there's at least 3 lines of working there. Clear as mud? So let's try another one. Let's go H this time. 2a, a plus 2 minus 5, a squared plus 7. This time I'm going to drop the working out, and I'm going to do the bare minimum working. So you still need to be doing all of this working. So 2a times a would be 2a squared. 2a times 2 would be 4a. Okay, I'm going to put a plus in between it. Minus 5 times a squared is negative 5a squared, sorry. Plus negative 5 times 7 would be negative 35. Okay, let's fix it up a little bit. So the positive and the negative together make a negative. Positive and negative together make a negative. Okay, I've got some like terms here. I've got 2a squared and 5a squared. So 2a squared take 5a squared is negative 3a squared plus 4a minus 35. So that's the least amount of working that you have to show, and only if you're confident. All right, we'll do one more. We'll do as tricky as they come. Let's do question 5I. 3x, 3 minus 2y plus 6x, 2y minus 9. Okay, so again, I'm going to do the minimum amount of working. 3x times 3 is 9x. 3x times negative 2y would be negative 6xy. 6x times 2y would be 12xy. 6x times negative 9 would be minus 54x. Okay, I'm going to look for my like terms. So I've got 9 and 54 there. So we could have 45, negative 45, sorry, negative 45x plus 6xy. Final lines because it's my final answer. Just a little bit with the setting out of these ones. The order doesn't matter too much. If you have like a squared, that goes first. It goes a to the power of 2, a to the power of 1, no a's, like this one here. Okay, a squared, a to the power of 1, no a's. If it was something like a3 plus a2 plus a1 plus 5, you want to get them in order. Okay, so the highest power to the lowest power. But if it's something like this one, 45x plus 6xy, where it's just different letters, it doesn't matter at all what order you put it in. Okay, so just be aware that your order might be different than the textbook answers, and that's fine. Okay, so what you're going to do today is all of 8.9. You're going to skip through, so if you are not confident, you're going to do all of question 1. If you are confident, you might do 3 or 4 of question 1. Okay, question 2, question 3, question 4, work your way through. Question 7 is getting up towards year 9 and 10. So have a go with that, see if you can do it. If you get to it and you can't do it though, call me and I'll show you. All right, good luck and have fun.